Why did I Google, is Argentina Spain? Am I complete what? Troglodyte? Yes, I am. I'll tell you why. Because I was just thinking about the football, and I was just about to post about, yes, I probably am going to sneak off to Gaff once. He's gone away. I know I shouldn't say. But I've done it now, so I'm supposed to be looking after Squidgy the hamster. I know, so I've left it till now, so I might see if I can switch on his TV. It's pretty high tech thing to do, and work out how to get the football on. And watch the match. Argentina Mexico. But why did I Google that? Well, I tell you why. Because when I was videoing the other day, I don't know if it's uploaded it or not, and I know some of you have watched it, if the spy peepers. When I said about what's his name? Trippier, that's it. Trippier. And I said, yeah, it is Trippier, mate, because like all the things were going on in the room. And when I was watching that back as well, it looks like there's a load of stuff on the sofa and looks like a black ball, like Toro, with a cat peeping out behind it. Did you notice that? So I wondered if he'd gone for Argentina, back to Argentina in the... He was behind Argentina. In this match this evening. We haven't spoken about it. We like to do these things quietly, privately. It makes the whole gambling thing more fun if we don't divulge all our secrets to each other. It's like my parents were like this. This is how I was brought up about voting. You never divulged who you were voting for, even though I'm fairly... Well, I don't know. I was trained to believe they were very conservative. But that might not be true, because that's how it was done back then. It's like, well, no, you don't. That's why do you know what? That was the law. It's true. So that was it, really. Who do I think? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I just want to go enjoy it, to be honest. A draw, maybe? I always say that, though. That's a safe bet, isn't it? I don't know what they're... who they've played in their group or anything at all. I need to get this sorted out, get a fixtures thing up, don't I? What do you call it? A leaderboard. That's not called that. Luddite. So I may go and lay around and do that so Squidgy doesn't feel too sad. Squidgy the hamster, I know. I bought him a new... You want to meet Squidgy? We want him to get around, see if he bites. He probably will. I bought him his Christmas house, didn't I? But I gave it to him yesterday. So I'll show you that, maybe. That's it. That's why I googled is Argentina, Spain. I know it's... actually, no. Yes. Because it's British owned, isn't it? I can't remember all that. That was all that twaddle before, wasn't it? Years ago when I was a kid. So I don't know. It's not that I can't keep up. Sometimes I just... I don't care enough about it. It's true. It seems to be an ongoing thing. Everyone fighting over bits of brass. I'll tell you what, I did read the other day, so I got a bit more up on my politics. I'm sort of squeezing my way into it slowly at the age of 50. That's our closest outcrop or whatever to something, isn't it? Our furthest English, or if it still is or not, part half and half. We've got a foot each, 6 square yards. Just so we can go over and buy some sugar if we need to get some I don't know, anything on the way over to something. But that's what I googled. So that's the British most whateverly points or whatever. And then the other way was when I was looking like Russia, because my son said about this Ukrainian war being over access to the sea, and I thought, I'm sure Russia's pretty much surrounded by sea. So I had to go and look at that, and then I just fell down a wiki hole, and literally around the back of Russia is about 4 yards from America, isn't it? It's like, what? So then I just got into that whole like thing, or Alaska. I know, I didn't do much geography at school. I started it when I was at my good school, the Spaghetti Town one. And then I didn't really do any more when I got to sharing them. We just just started chugging shorts and eating ice buns, to be honest, mate. And then getting on the shandy. It's pretty much true. And I was going, oh my God, I've told this story before. There's a guy called Simon Dids, and he was in my year at school. And I remember we must have been in our final year at high school, and it was Christmas, and there was a tombola or something, and he won a bottle of vodka. He won a bottle of vodka. I've told this story in short, I've written about it. And I know it was Christmas because there was the school play was going, the performance was going on, and he fucking got smashed. I think my mate Mandy had a bit, and I maybe had one sip just, to bow to peer pressure, but I really wasn't into drinking. And he really then drank the rest of it and then threw up all over the corridor. Well, we weren't with him at the time. He'd just gone off and drunk it. And we got all banned from... I didn't get to watch the school performance. We ended up having to sweep the corridors. I thought, cheers to that. I mean, Jesus Christ. But it's still kind of a funny story. What the fuck were they giving a bottle of vodka at school? Oh, this is why, do you know what? What goes through people's minds? What goes through people's minds? What goes through them? It's still a funny story, though. But then you just, do you know what? Then your kids and other people think you don't know anything about life. It's like, well, yeah, I do, actually. I have lived some of it myself. I've lived my life, anyway. And some of it seems a bit crazy, a bit wacko, mate. What's the other thing I was going to go on about? I was thinking about medication just now as well, because I just made that rampant statement about being poisoned by blah, 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 inappropriate medication. And I'm not completely against medication. And then I was thinking about, that's right, because I was thinking about, Brand was going on about the opioid crisis in the States at the moment, which I don't really know anything about. But clearly it's a thing because he said it, and I can see why it would be. And I have had opioid painkillers briefly and stopped taking them. I don't think they were particularly good ones because, again, I've had morphine when I had a cesarean. So, do you know what? I'm aware of the effects of these things. It's like I've always jokingly said, it is a bit Moorish, isn't it? So, I can see how these things happen. But at the same time, I know it's not always positives. And I forgot what I was going to say about that as well. I don't know. I'll think about it later on and talk about it in another episode, probably. And the thing about, that's what I tell you what I was thinking as well when I posted the other day. I mean, some of this things are clearly being fed to me, aren't they? For my opinion, or see how I react to things. I mean, I'm not fact checking things when I comment on them. I'm just commenting on what's been put out there by presumably trustworthy sources like The Guardian. I mean, we're a Times family. Observer. Probably all of them. I don't know. And what was I going to say? What was I saying? Oh, what did I post the other day? Oh yeah, about Afghanistan and when they're having to drug their children because they're hungry, and it's basically the same price to buy those antidepressants or whatever as it is a slice of bread. It's like, where the fuck are they getting this medication from, first of all? Is it actual medication? I mean, the labels, I was talking to my son about it. I mean, are these American, I'll fall back on that, are the American brands that they've got hold of? And why have they got those instead of, I said a bag of rice, but do you know what? I'm eating pearl barley at the moment for 70p a packet. I'm pretty sure that's shelf prices. It's going to be cheaper than that for basic food. I mean, if you don't want to feed people up because you think they're going to go protein mental and just come smashing you in, just give them enough to get by. I know the economics of things, and the same of like the benefits thing. You can't have everyone just lying around trawling money and just getting mashed on it, but somebody has to do some work somewhere. Stop talking now. I know I've talked myself into a hole. I do understand that, but at the same time, if you're going to be starving people at one end, you can't be jumping around with, what's her name? Not Miley Cyrus, doing a fucking Lego advert, making this Western world look like some sort of dream state. It's going to piss people off. I mean, especially with the internet being big. And then people sort of thinking it's this, do you know what, dream world that they're going to come over to, and that's not actually that good either. Everyone's on fucking opioids and can't stand their lives. It's like, just give them the fucking bag of rice. Seriously, it's not that simple either. No, probably not, but that's simple enough for this time on a Saturday. Football's just about to start. What are my predictions? I don't know. I've not thought about it. Mexico, arriba. Stop doing that. I might not be able to watch it. Why did I say Argentina, England in the final to start with? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I was doing this thing, wasn't I? I just picked this up when I was talking about it, and it's blue and white with the 2 silver hearts on it. And so blue and white was England for one, and Argentina, they're in blue, white stripes, aren't they? Sounds pretty legit, I know. So maybe it'll be Argentina. But I don't really know what points we need at the moment and all the rest of it. I'm trusting the Lord, to be honest. He's got it all in hand, so I'm finding that interesting as well. Messi's Argentina, isn't he? That's right. I think Argentina definitely. That's the only other player I remember from like Daft One's, forced learning of football. That's true. Everyone needs to get involved. I'm in blue and white as well, as usual. I don't know. That may mean nothing. We're just all children of the world. We don't need to have these boundaries. We need some, or we won't be standing each other's plants. That's probably true. You wanted Argentina because you feel we were at war with them. Well, we kind of probably are in a way, but a friendly one. Anne was over there the other day feeding the ducks. It's true. I saw that too. My darling Anne, my sister, the fucking maniac. That's pretty much it. What did I have tea? Actually, it was quite nice for me. I had celery. I was going to make celery soup because I bought some celery the other day, but I just warmed that in the pan with butter. I'm sorry. And softened it, and then put the pearl barley in, and just about 6 mushrooms that I had. And that was basically it. And just cooked it. And then when it was cooked, I had a bit more butter on it and a tiny bit of salt I added. It was okay, but you know what I needed? I needed something in it. It's true. I'm that rich person. I know you can see that in different ways. I don't disagree with a lot with what's being said in that. It's like, that did used to be the thing. The only people who eat this shit, basically, were queers. And that used to be a derogatory term. And beggars, basically. In fact, sometimes queers was a slightly more polite term that they use. So there we go. Lucky for us, everything's changed. I'm sure the Dalai Lama would be decided. He'd be decided by himself to learn that it's only rich people eat lentils or whatever. But that's the other things. I thought about this before as well. it's the, go on, they say, the fashions of, shut up, Dolly, of like, basically, I mean, when everyone was poor, it was fashionable to be larger, wasn't it? Because it shows that you can look after yourself, or provide for your family. And now, at the opposite scale of things, if you're wealthier, it's less fashionable to be larger because it just looks like you're greedy. That's, I suppose, a blind statement, isn't it? So sometimes it is to do with that. And we just need to get around to being healthy, I think, eating for health. However that fits. And the health of the planet. And the well-being of things, which I know is another, oh God, another massive, massive wormhole. But I talked about that as well. I mean, when we were less affluent and my head was in a different place, we did just eat battery hens, literally, for about 6 years. So we probably did our bit for the punishment of sentient beings. They were £2 a go. But then I bought that one with cancer, and it's like, do you know what? I don't really fancy these anymore. And my life was such that that's how we had to eat. But then you learn that they just grind all that up and put it into whatever. It's like, oh, do you know? I'm sorry, but it's true. You might just get somebody who's not in a good mood that day when they're at work, and they just chuck it in. But it's the same with the beans, the coffee. Some bloke might be really naffed off and just take a waz in it. It's like... Dolly's crying. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go because I need to get dressed and go and... That's what their poison testers do. That's why I got Dolly. That's why we just have to share our food. If we come down with the same thing, then we know there's a what? Or sometimes if we don't have the same thing, it's the same, isn't it? We can start to identify what it is. Right. Another thing I was going about food with my brother allergies is, watching the labels. My mum was always like, she was like that, and she'd always be going, oh, they've changed ingredients in something because it's like it's having a flare up. Same with washing powder. Do you know what? You could use this one. And then all of a sudden it's like it makes them itch. So it's like, oh, they've changed something in it. Why would they do that? Because, do you know what? Just to keep us on our toes, I suppose. But you just, so it's a thing, isn't it? You'd understand these things. And I think that's all I just wanted to chip in with for now. Really? So, tuna to Mexico? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just enjoy it and see what happens.